Weighted Native Chronicles. Got my .44 Magnum here. I've got my reloading notes. Now what I want to do in this video is show you something a little bit different. You're not going to find this, I don't think, on any other shooting channel. This is I have a lot of my own approaches to doing things. So I hope that some of this you'll find useful. What I'm going to show is how I record my reloading and other information about shooting. I do it my own way. I've developed a technique for doing so, and I've actually had a lot of questions from people on how I do this. Unfortunately, to explain the entire process takes a long time, but I have made some very in-depth videos on exactly how to do it, what software is needed in order to do it almost for free as far as software goes. So what I'm going to do is give you a kind of a quick example of a typical session of updating my notes. What my notes are, in my case I keep them in a small book like this. It's kind of a recipe page style book because I want to have something small enough to carry in my shooting box. But I can also keep the same notes in a little book like this. In fact, using the same computer files, I produce both books. So whenever I update my notes, I just print them out in two different books and update both of them. That shows how flexible this method is once you get stuff into a computer format. The reason for doing it, a great reason for doing it, number one is it's very clear and it's very neat, of course. When you do drawings in computers, and printers are so good nowadays, it produces beautiful work, very fine detail. But the other advantage is that if you're like me and you've ever tried keeping notes in a book on your reloading information or sight settings or whatever, right? As soon as you get it all down and you figure, okay, this is really the final story, this is the authoritative version, you put a little bit of work into making it nice and neat. A week later, you find out you got to produce different information again. It's something in there has to change. You developed a new load. There's something that's come along, and you got to revise this nice little page or whatever, or pages that you made. So, especially if you want to organize your notes in a table of contents like I do. So then when you insert some additional information in a certain section, now the numbering's all got to change. Well, if you do it with a computer, there's some really easy ways of avoiding a whole lot of trouble and still keeping everything just beautiful and accurate. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to take a typical type of change that I make. In this case, it's something that happened quite recently. I came up with a new load for this gun, and I recalibrated the sights on this. This is a Model 29-3, and it's an old silhouette shooting version of the Model 29. It's got that special 10 and 5/8 inch barrel, and this gun has that really cool front sight that you can just press on the back ramp and you can turn these dials on it. You're going to see that more in the pages that I produce, but I'm just giving you kind of a bit of the backstory here. Each one of this front sight has 4 settings, 4 set screws. Each set screw sets a different elevation on the front sight. So what you can do is, in silhouette shooting, is you can, and would apply to hunting too, I guess. You know, if you want to take 200-yard shots, things like that. There's a lot of difference in point of aim involved. But this one here, you can dial it in so that you have one sight setting for, let's say, 25 yards, another for 100, another for 150, and another for 200, whatever distances you want to choose. So this page I'm going to update will include updates to that information for those 4 sight settings, as well as windage adjustments, things like that. So how about we get started? I'll show you how it's done. It's not going to be completely in-depth. I'm going to just give you kind of a quick example. In the comments of this video, I'm going to put a link to other videos that I've made, because I've actually created some very in-depth, detailed videos on how to maintain your and create your own reloading notes in computer format. So if you find this interesting, you can dig in and learn more and try it for yourself. Okay, let's see how this is done. I have the file I was describing loaded in Word right now, and this page 2 is a page that I'm going to edit. So on this page there are a few little changes I need to make as a result of the new site settings I've determined, and one of those changes is this 0.059 distance. I changed that, and on the bottom here, settings 1, 2, 3, and 4, I've got to make a few little changes there. So as you can see in this display here, the image is embedded into this Word document. I use Word because it's just a very powerful editor. And if I zoom in here to, let's see, page width, you can see that the images retain their resolution. So it's the way I can do that is making the image using vector-based image editing software, and the cheapest and best software for that is a free product called Inkscape. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring up Inkscape. I have that file loaded in there, and where's my Inkscape? Let's get this thing here. Okay, there's Inkscape. There's the 0.059 as it is already. I have all my elements in this picture, so I can do everything with this software. And but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to make this 0.71. And that's really the only change I want to make right now to this image, but I can change anything I want in it, no problem at all. When I save it down, I save it as a WMF file, not an SVG or other format file. WMF works the best with Word because when you scale it up and scale it down within Word, the image stays smooth. It doesn't become grainy and choppy. So I'll save this down, and then we'll go back to our Word program. Get that up here. Okay, let's see here. What? Word. Okay, so we're back to the Word program. You can see there's that 0.59 in this picture right now. Let's just hit the delete button, get rid of that guy, and then go to insert picture. Now I'm going to load up that image file that I just edited. It has the 0.071 figure in it. Okay, here we go. Let that thing load in there. Computer's a little slow right now. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, so now it shows 0.71 there. Move in a little closer if you like, and you can see that the image stays smooth. It's a WMF file. Now this is the picture portion of the Word document that I edit using Inkscape, but the rest of this is just plain text. So I can go and edit this any old way I want, and you can see it's just seamless almost the way it looks when it's finished. So let's change this to set to 9. Change this to 0, 1, and this one has to become 1. Okay, so let's just kind of go back to the one-page view. See our changes are made, and what I want to do now is I want to save that Word file. But the next important step is it's best to save it in a PDF format. So if you have Word, it's very simple to do. Just go to Save As, a little smoother when I'm not doing a screen capture. But the screen capture software running, it's making my computer a little choppy, so I'm gonna tell it where to save the PDF file. I'm doing a save as, because in addition to the Word format file, I want to save it in a file that is got a PDF extension. The reason I use the PDF files a lot is the PDF files, PDF software, the Adobe software, has really good printing features in it. So I like to take advantage of that. Plus PDF, you can share that and load it very quickly. It's just a nicer format. So when I click save, I've created a PDF file already. So I'm just going to overwrite the one with this updated one. And once I do that, the PDF document is created. And we'll see the PDF viewer pop up here momentarily. Okay, here's the PDF editor, or viewer. And you can see that the Word document is being converted, and I have the changes applied to it. Now the PDF file is updated as well. So the next thing I want to do when I've made my changes is I just go to send it to the printer, and the printer works. The printer interface is quite nice in Adobe, so I like to use it. Here's the printer interface for Adobe. In my case, I like the format for printing. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select, I only want the second page updated, but since I print on both sides of the page, I'm going to print the first page as well. Do that, and you can see it's just going to set the page up so it prints in the proper way.